Hey, we're live, we're happy, and we're knackered, to be honest. Yeah, we've had a game of football today. We'll get on to that a little bit later on. But welcome to SAFC Fan TV and another edition of the Sunday Bunch Live. With myself, Philly. Tonight we have the Mad Mistake. Mad Mistake, I know what you've been doing today. Have you had a good day?
I'm going to have an even better day today because I'm going to have a chocolate brownie on a Sunday. Chocolate Sunday brownie.
Chocolate brownie Saturday. That's what we like. We're joined by young Jack Dodds there. Jack, have you enjoyed the day?
Yeah, it was good. I don't know if I can mention the score yet.
We'll get onto that. So we'll cover that in a bit. We'll have
But no, I enjoyed it. It was a good one out this morning. Been knackered all day. Got another game to play after this. But no, enjoyed my day so far.
Jack, man, you're 18 years old. I mean, me and Terry are in our 40s.
He's only been about 20 minutes ago.
Shut up, man. Hey, man, I saved the day, didn't I? Coming on, Ronaldo-esque. Dino.
Hello.
Have you enjoyed the day?
I was very eye-opener with the whole game changer little presentation right at the start. And the game was actually quite fun. And don't get us wrong, it's been a big eye-opener of how unfit I actually am. So I'm back at the gym on Monday, Tuesday. I'm going to get back fitness. I never want to be blown out my backside ever again. It was horrible.
To be honest, Dino, I think that's the thing. What we noticed most watching you in the game, how unfit you actually are. You actually are.
I thought you were going to say all of us, but you had to dig all that out.
No, well, we didn't all mention it. It was Dino did. As you can see, we're not in the studio tonight.
We all struggle with our fitness, so I think.
We're not in the studio tonight, which means you might get people talking over each other like Jack's just done there. Of course, I'm in the studio. But we're all over the place. So we've done it remotely. We are live, which means the live chat is available if you want to contribute. And just before we go any further, we would like to quickly mention our sponsors, the One Football app, who sponsor our channel. Fantastic football app, the only app you'll ever need to cover all things about your team. All major teams are on there. Get all the latest scores as and when they happen. As we said, breaking news coming out of your club. Great for checking out the player stats on it as well. It's fantastic for doing that. Check the league tables, see where you're sitting, see if you're top, see if you're second. And the good news is the app is absolutely free to download, and the link is in the description below. So once again, a massive thank you to One Football for sponsoring SAFC Fan TV. We'll give shouts out to people already on the chat. Las Palmas Mackham there, Jeff Holcroft, Spannerman, David Walker there, Brian Garner, SPJ, Ben Dawson. We've also got to give a shout out to the Black Cat podcast, who have donated £2 via the super chat. Round of applause. And Carl says, good evening, lads. Great seeing everyone today. Carl did come down to watch the match today. It was great. Great seeing you again there, Carl. And thanks for the donation. And why he's on there. There is a chance to donate to the channel via the super chat if you'd like to do that. The little $ is at the bottom of the live chat. Just select that and see how much you'd like to donate. And it's all gratefully accepted. Though we will say it is free to chat if you want to join in anyway. So yesterday, we went down to Fleetwood.
Jack did.
Well, no, I'm on about the team went down to play. Jack didn't go down to play, did he? I wait, Dino, man.
No, I mean, after my performance this morning, the shooting boots that were on display, I highly doubt I'll be getting onto the pitch.
Well, I think that's never a true word said. Terry, what did you think overall performance yesterday?
Oh, God. Overall performance, eh? Well, we did the business for the first 80 minutes. Took a 2-0 lead. That should have been it. That should have been game over. We need to learn lessons fast in this league. We've got to find a way to shut up shop. Simple as. You're leading 2-0. Should see the game out. Find a way to see the game out. For me, the lads played all right. We took off Embleton and Dan Neil, which I wasn't happy about at the time. I didn't say much about it at the time, but I was thinking, why are we taking 2 of our forward midfield players off? So we sat back. We invited the pressure. And as it's 2-0, we're always going to give the opposition an opportunity to get back into the game. We need to score more than 2 goals. The referee was a disgrace. Their fans throwing bottles and flares onto the pitch. And due with these extra 7 or 8 minutes, which give the referee an opportunity.
Sorry, Terry, can I just say, you're saying flares on the pitch. Dino described it in the commentary as a smoke grenade, apparently.
Whatever it is, how the fans who do this sort of thing shouldn't be allowed in the ground. For me, it's ridiculous, man. Someone gets seriously hurt if it hits somebody. But at the end of the day, yeah, it was hard to take yesterday. It really was. It really got me down after the match. You think it's there in the bag, the 3 points, and then that goes and happens. It's SAFC. They kick you in the teeth every now and again. They've got to learn from it fast, and hopefully Lee Johnson get the side, up for Tuesday. But I thought Hoffman had a fantastic game in goal. He kept it at 2-0. It could have very easily been 2-2 a lot earlier than it was if it wasn't for some superb goalkeeping by Hoffman. Overall, it just feels like we've just thrown away 2 points, and I feel dejected after that match.
Yeah, fair enough. If you want to check out Terry's review of the game, that's on the Mad Mistakes channel. Though I must warn you, there is a little bit of French in there towards the end. Very passionate and got.
I deleted the live stream where all the language was because I was that sick afterwards. I couldn't stand it. I just deleted it.
We should hurry up and delete that Sunday. It's all right. Right, there you go. Good man. Right, just very quickly on the chat. Alan Robinson says 5 points lost against Burton and Fleetwood. That's why we're still in this division. Bit of a knee-jerk reaction for me, I think. No. And Emma Wilson says, evening. We've got to give a shout out to Emma. She was out on her hen night last night and rather drunk when she came into our pub. Jack, you went down there. Overall performance?
Yeah, there's been fewer games that I've left with more frustration. I don't think there's been a game I've left in a worse mood probably since the return of fans and the returns of full capacities in stadiums. 2-0 up, roughly 10 minutes left, throwing it away. It really is throwing 2 points away. I thought the first half performance, to be honest, was absolutely excellent. I think that first 45 minutes in particular, I don't think we could have asked for more. I thought from Hoffman right through to Stewart, everyone played very, very well. Don't think there was anyone who you could see was probably playing at less than a 7 out of 10 performance. In the second half, I just take it down a gear. And I think sometimes that's inevitable in football, so I'm not going to dig the lads out too much. It's the way things go. You have a good half. Sometimes you're going to drop off a bit. It's natural. It happens. You just need to deal with it and cope with it. Yesterday's problems that we didn't. I thought the first goal was very poor defending overall. Don't really think there's anyone in particular that can pick out. We just looked all over the place. Second goal, to me, whether you think it's a penalty or not, I know there's been a lot of people talking about that. Why Bailey Wright goes to pull him, I've got absolutely no idea. It's quite clear that either Hoffman or Alves were getting to that ball first before. I think it was Morton who pulled down the Fleetwood play in the end. Why on earth Bailey Wright decided to need to pull him down, I don't know. I think, to be honest with you, it's probably a lack of minutes this season showing. He's not played much. A lot of Fleetwood lads have probably played every game, and he's just not at that match sharpness where on another day he might have just, had that game maturity to not quite do anything. I thought yesterday, though, towards the end of the game, we really struggled with the sensible head. Don't get us wrong, I thought Evans had a good influence when he came on, slowed things down, put a lot of really important tackles in as well. 2 or 3 times he put a good tackle in and slowed Fleetwood's attack right down. But I think you'd expect Bailey Wright to have stepped up a bit more yesterday, and I think I was hoping for him to kind of lead the young lads we've got at the back, lead the pack. 10 minutes left. We've done a great job at this point. No silly mistakes. And I don't want to dig Bailey Wright out, but I think he let us down a little bit yesterday. He should be playing against Wigan, though. Hopefully he can put it right against them. But on Hoffman as well, Terry mentioned it. It needs to be mentioned more. He was absolutely superb yesterday. And I'm going on about how good the team performance was. Typically, your keeper doesn't have that great of a game if the outfield players do. But I thought yesterday Hoffman was brilliant. There was an instance where Morton was running through on goal. He got down really well and made a save. Then seconds later, he had to get up and make a tackle. And then a couple of seconds later, the ball goes into the box. It was when we got given a free kick in our own box for, I think, Morton. He's offside, I think, actually. But Hoffman still did a fantastic save to tip it over the bar. The reaction from the fans behind him really said a lot. And then, in the second half as well, he made a few really important saves. I think he's I'm glad he had a good game, because last week there was a lot of criticism of him. But on the whole, 2 points dropped. A good, strong performance up until a certain point. We dropped off. We let them back into the game. But in hindsight, it's a point away from home against a team we don't normally do well against, and a ground we don't normally get a result from. I think if we win next Saturday, that it rights that wrong, and moving forward again in that game's in the past.
And breathe. Thank you. You mentioned about Bailey Wright there, just very quickly on the chat. P. Nelestino says, before everyone slates Bailey Wright, he's hardly played this season. Ref was poor. I've heard that a lot. I will get on to the penalties in a bit there. Carl at the Black Cat podcast says everyone played brilliant today. Obviously, Carl wasn't watching when I came on. Dino, you and I had a trip over to Amsterdam. Couldn't go out on the town because we had to fly back and to play this game today. So overall performance, what did you think?
First half, couldn't fault anybody. Hoffman made some great saves. I just thought Fleetwood were very flat. They didn't press very well. We kept the ball well. We're creating chances. Ross Stewart had a header saved by the keeper. Then the next cross he scored. I just thought everyone in the first half were really, really good. Second half, Fleetwood were always going to step the pace up a little bit, because obviously they're 1-0 down and they've got to try and get an equaliser. But when we got that second goal, I thought, well, that's it. But we all know we were 2-0 down last season after, I think, and Stanley, and we scored 2 worldly goals. It can happen. A game can change in 10 minutes. They were piling the pressure on. Their first goal, you could say bad defending, but you could say it was a nice through pass. There was a couple of times that through pass worked, and Carl Winchester made a great tackle. I don't know if Jack's seen it. I think it was behind the goal where their player got through and Winchester was behind him and got a tackle in and hit the ball out for a corner. That was a great tackle. Like you say, Fleetwood could have scored more goals than they did if it wasn't for Hoffman and some last-ditch tackling. But obviously, they got the penalty. If it's a pen or not, I said at the time it was, because it was like Luke O'Nine's. He was getting ragged around a little bit. People say it's soft, but if you're starting to grab people's shirts, it's going to be given as a pen. It happens. It's just a little bump in the road. We've done it over teams where we've came back from 2-0 down to either win or even draw. It's going to happen to us now, and it will happen to us. It's not surprised that it did, let the pile the pressure on it. People are saying Lee Johnson made terrible substitutions, but if we come away from that game winning either 2-1 or even 2-0, they're not bad substitutions. It's just because they got the penalty. Let's be fair. If they didn't get the penalty, they probably wouldn't have scored. So I wouldn't say they were bad substitutions. I think it was just tightening up because we were under pressure a lot. So I wouldn't say they were bad.
We were under pressure for a reason, though, Dino, weren't we?
We were under pressure even when we had Embleton and that on the pitch. All he was trying to do was break up the play a little bit more. And like you say, if them don't get the penalty, we win 2-1 and everyone's clapping Lee Johnson, great result, 2-1 win, blah, blah, blah. But because they got the penalty, let's be fair, it wasn't Alves who gave away the penalty who had just come on. It was a player who had started from the start of the game, Bailey Wright, one of our most experienced players. We can't help that he's ragging someone around in the box. So it's one of them. I'm not going to look at it as a negative result. It's still a point. It's away from home. Yeah, it's a bit disappointing that we're winning the game, but we've done this to other teams. It will happen to us now and again, and just continue. We're still second. We're still up there. We're playing well. We'll correct that wrong. we will correct it.
Right, fair enough. I've just sent you something in the group. I'm gonna. I want you to see in a bit. Tony Lee says, "All right, lads, and the two V's." Whatever that's supposed to mean. Don't forget, we've got 32 likes at the moment. We'd like to try and hit 100 as we try and do on a Sunday. 2-0 up, 10 minutes to go.
Wow.
And we didn't hold out for the win. Who's at fault for that, Terry?
Well, I think obviously, it's hard to. It is actually, for me, Lee Johnston's got to take part of the blame. I mean, what's wrong with Pritchard? Why couldn't Pritchard come on for Embleton? Like for like, forward-thinking midfielder who can hold the ball up, put them under pressure, relieve the back four. We know the back four is a makeshift. We haven't got Flanagan, we've got Bailey Wright, who hasn't played a full 90 minutes. So we need to relieve the pressure from the back four. So, and it's just, you don't want to put too much blame on like different individual people because it's a learning process. It's got a lot of young players. Is he frightened to take McGeady off early in the game? Could McGeady have come off after 80 minutes and brought in someone like Pritchard or someone? So I don't know. But like I say, Bailey Wright, you don't touch players in the box, simple as. You can just see he's given a penalty to Sunderland for someone bare hugging Loco 9. So if you're a defender, you just don't grab hold of anybody in the box at all. Just don't touch them. And let them get on with it. The ball was going to go through anyway. So why are you touching players in the box? Hopefully he's going to learn from this as well, but like I say, it's just, I'm disappointed.
I think a bit of physical contact, Terry, when defending's inevitable, but like you draw a line and literally grabbing someone and ragging them about, which is what Bailey Wright did. You know that if the referee sees that, there's a very good, he might not always give it, but there's a very good chance he's gonna give a penalty away, and that's why I wasn't really complaining at it.
Right, fair enough. Do you know who's at fault that we're 2-0 up with 10 minutes to go? Who's at fault? That is that down the manager or what?
But I wouldn't say so. It's not the manager's fault that Bailey Wright decides to grab somebody in the box. That's not his fault. He brings on Corey Evans. You can't say it to me. Corey Evans had a bad game. He came on, he broke play up, he done very, very well. Alves, I'm sure he headed a couple of balls out. It was a player who started on the 90th minute. If Corey Evans came on or Alves and gave away the pen, you'd say that's a terrible substitution because them are good way. But Bailey Wright started and he grabbed somebody, and it's inevitable. If you're going to grab someone in the box, you're running the risk of giving away a penalty. And unfortunately, the referee was literally staring at Bailey Wright at the time. So it's our own wrong. It's the player's own wrongdoing. At the end of the day, we were under pressure. You've just got to defend for the last minute. Don't just keep your hands off people. He wasn't doing anything. Just stand him up. Don't need to grab him. And it was given, and there's nothing you can do. Hopefully Bailey Wright will just think from now on, I'm not going to grab anyone from now on, because when Luke O'Neill was getting grabbed, we didn't complain. We got a penalty for it, so why should we complain that people are saying it shouldn't have been a penalty? It was a penalty. It was as simple as that, and I was hoping Hoffman was going to save it, because if he saved it, it would have been a great performance, man of the match performance for Hoffman, but unfortunately it didn't. It's a draw. Let's just move on, get on with it. On to the next game. There's still what's this, the 7th game of the league? Come on, man. There's plenty. We're still second. We're joint with Wigan, I think. It's just goal difference. There's a lot of the season left to be played, and I'm fully confident we'll right that wrong in the next couple of weeks.
I'm a bit disappointed we didn't bring on Diaco, we call him. I thought he should have came on the last 15 minutes. He would have got the ball, held it up a bit better, put them under pressure on the wing. So I'm disappointed he never came on.
Not Phil, sorry, Terry, but the thing is, do you actually know what kind of player Diaco is? I've never seen him play, so I couldn't tell you. For all we know, he's not one of them players who can carry the ball 15. We don't know what kind of player he is. I don't think Diaco was needed at that time. I do believe bringing Corey Evans on was a good substitution.
No, I don't mean Corey Evans. Corey Evans, fair enough. But the other player, Broadhead, who came on for the other midfielder, for me, we could have made enough.
I actually forgot he was brought on, to be fair.
I think Broadhead desperately needs to play on Tuesday. He needs more minutes. He's came in with all this promise from being on Everton's bench in their opening Premier League games, and he's just not really had a look in, at the club yet.
Well, you go on about, about this incident, the penalty right at the end. But it was all before that. We was inviting them on.
You can't blame an entire result on one penalty.
No, well, of course you can't. This is what I'm saying. We were sitting back, was inviting them on, and we said, Dino. To be honest, it was it was coming all day, and then we managed to get a foothold in the game, went 2-0 up, and they were much better second half. Just very quickly before you come in, Dino, Carl on the Black Cat podcast says 2-0 up, wrong substitutions. Diaku should have come on. We went defensive, and that shouldn't have happened. Dino, you was one then.
What was I going to say? I've totally forgotten what I was going to say. Sorry, Phil.
Right, Jack. 10 minutes to go, 2-0 up. Who's at fault?
Well, like I say, I don't think you can pin an entire result on one decision or one penalty or one substitution. I think Bailey Wright, I've mentioned it before, I do think Bailey Wright should have done better towards the end of that game. And I think that was, it's a type of thing you'd expect someone of the age of Callum Doyle to do in a scenario. I would have expected a bit more game maturity from Bailey Wright to not grab someone in that situation. But I don't think his substitutions were particularly bad. Dino mentioned Corey Evans. I can remember 3 separate occasions where Corey Evans put a tackle in that really slowed Fleetwood down and tried to build an attack. Broadhead, he's great. He's done a lot of good pressing when Fleetwood's defenders had the ball. That just slows the process down of getting the ball up the pitch. They have to hoof it normally at that point. They had no option to pass it between themselves because Broadhead was putting pressure on them. As for Alves coming on going to a back three, I've got nothing against playing with 3 centre halves. That's actually a formation I think can work quite well sometimes. But I do see where people come from, saying that you don't do it towards the end of the game. But one thing I'll put out is we've been doing this since the start of the season in every game except Burton, when of course we were getting beat. I don't think we did it then. We've been winning and staying out of game, and it's worked. And has anyone really been complaining about it? And all of a sudden it goes.
That's
wrong,
what I mean, Jack. People, if we won that game 2-1, no one would have complained. But because of the penalty, it's like you kind of do right from wrong. If we stay 2-1, no one complains. But because the penalty got given, it's all the manager's fault. This is what I don't get.
Look at Dino. There's been a lot of people out there complaining and saying that we're hanging on to leads towards the end of games, and this is going to happen. If we continue to do the same thing, try and shut up shop the last 5-10 minutes, instead of going for another goal, we're going to let this happen.
I know, but Terry,
let us contract that there, though. Let me contract that there.
One of you.
If we go for it, say we go for another goal and we'll concede off that, people go, why didn't we shut up shop?
Exactly.
You cannot win. You cannot. So you're telling me if you brought Jarko on and they scored regardless, you wouldn't be going, why has he brought him on? Why didn't he bring another defender on to shut up shop? People, you just can't win. You can't win.
Bring another defender on would never cross my mind. A swap for swap. Bailey Wright for a defender, fair enough, but I wouldn't be changing systems that last 10 minutes of the game. It's just what I wouldn't do.
The thing is, Terry, if you're going to go for the goal, though, Terry, you're going to leave yourself open.
I don't mean all out attack, but I mean don't sit back and defend for 10 minutes. Play the way you've been playing for the first half. Play the way you've been playing. Change like for like.
Terry, there's only so long you can keep going on before naturally they just take a grip of the game, or our players get tired. But our players, Terry, have been on the front foot all game. You're naturally going to begin to tire. Fleetwood are eventually going to start.
Then you exchange like for like with players that are getting tired. You've got 3 substitutions.
Terry, sometimes that doesn't work. Honestly, I'm with Dino on this. I think yesterday the reason we ended up drawing was because we gave away a penalty in the last minute of the game, in the dying seconds, pretty much. If that penalty doesn't get given, if Bailey Wright doesn't grab that player. Bailey Wright wasn't even the player subbed on. If that instance doesn't happen, we win 2-1, we walk away and we go, Lee Johnson put an extra defender on, and Alves made a few clearances, which he did. Alves did all right when he came on. I think he cleared the ball a few times. Like I say, like me and Dino were saying, if that instance doesn't happen, we win 2-1, and his tactic works.
Dino?
The thing is, all right, you've got to look at this standpoint as well. We were lucky not to be getting beat. Let's be fair. Hoffman made some great saves.
Yeah, agreed.
We had chances. We had chances in there. Like when we create chances on target, they weren't like exceptional saves by the keeper. Hoffman made some really, really good saves where some keepers don't get them.
So then that proves to you, Dino, we're not good enough, now we?
Well,
if Fleetwood were almost the better side, you're basically saying that they should have scored more goals, then clearly we're not good enough.
No, we're there. First half, we were the better side, no doubt about it. Second half, them go for it a bit more. You've got tactics in games. You might say, right, just sit back 10 minutes, then press them a little, blah, blah, blah. When it's like last 10 minutes, you'll see it in every single game you ever watch. The winning team always sits back. Because if you go forward, it's easy to be countered, but when you sit back, they've got to break you down, blah, blah, blah. And the fact is, we give away a pen. If we're sitting back, they're trying to break us down and they're not, and then someone gives away a pen. That's just an individual error. And like it happens with every game you've ever seen. I can watch Man City, they're winning 1-0, and then the last 10 minutes, they might be under pressure, balls in the box, and just everything, and you just naturally sit back. I mean, look at the day. Look at the day for Terry. We were winning the game 2-1, and then we sat back and conceded another 2 goals. It happens.
I don't think we sat back. I think they just upped the pace. They're a younger bunch of lads than us.
Yeah, Terry, I think they up the pace in the second half. Unless you've got 2 teams who are quite clearly one's much better than the other, which is against Fleetwood. It's not really that type of scenario. You know, it's all right. I think we're probably a slightly better footballing side, but I think more or less there's not too much of a difference in ability there. Really, they just naturally took their tempo up a little bit, and we couldn't really quite cope with it. Lee Johnson decided we'll put a defender on. We've only got 10 minutes to see out. They're coming at us now. If we do that, at least a lot of these crosses coming into the box, we're going to have an extra man there to deal with it. That's why
in the game, who does all the running? The midfielders do the majority of the running. Midfielders are the engine room. We need to make change like for like, bring more fresh players on in midfield, get the engine room going again, so we're not on the back foot.
Is it Pritchard that you would have brought on?
You could have brought Pritchard on.
But Pritchard's more of an attacking player, though. Does he really do much defensively? I don't think he does.
I thought he did quite well. He played the other week. I thought he was box to box all over the place. Bags of energy.
I like the look of Pritchard, but is he the type of player you bring on to see out the game? Probably not.
20 minutes to go, would I?
Maybe he's one of 3 subs, but we'd already brought Broadhead on, and I think Broadhead's job was to be the forward man, to press them and do the job that Pritchard probably would have been doing.
Now, I've got more faith in Pritchard than Broadhead, mind. I mean, I think Broadhead only comes on because he's on loan from Everton, and there's some clause saying he has to have game time. That's just it's the thing about loanee players. You know, some of these players that come in, I feel like they're under pressure to play them because they've got to get game time. For me, Broadhead starts on Tuesday in a cup match. Oh, yeah. Then we'll see what he's made of. Then we use him as a sub when he's fitter and fresher, and we know more about him. But for me, Pritchard, experienced player like him.
But what's Pritchard wasn't feeling up right? You know, he might have had a knock or something.
I think I'm not having a dig yet. I feel like Terry's just looking at it too much. It's a simple mistake. If that mistake doesn't happen, we win 2-1. Everyone's happy. It's the fact that it's happened in the 97th minute, even though there was only 5 minutes of added time. It's just one of them things. It happens. We've done it to plenty of teams, and we're buzzing for it to happen. But when it happens to us, everybody's crap. The manager's crap and everything.
Everybody's not crap. Everybody's not crap, Dino. I'm just saying we need to learn from our mistakes and grow as a unit, as a team, as a manager has to learn from what he's doing. The team has to learn and grow because we've got to win these games if we want promotion. Or are you happy with League One again next season?
Last season, we would have got beat that game. Last season, we would have got beat.
Oh, we're getting better. But how many points are we getting better over the season? We need to improve again for me.
I think we've improved. I think we've improved tremendously. I think
we've been much better this season.
Exactly. So that's why I'm confident. If this was last season, I'd be going, it's just typical Sunderland. But I didn't see second half Sunderland yesterday. I thought we were still good. Just Fleetwood up the pace a tiny little bit. And a mistake cost me. A mistake. It's a bad mistake.
We've got to keep clean sheets. That's the key. We have to keep clean sheets. Simple as.
You want to say that, Karen?
We'll see. But Michael Bowers says it all the time about clean sheets. You cannot guarantee a clean sheet. You can't. If you want to keep a clean sheet, what?
No, you can't guarantee a clean sheet every game, but if you can get into the habit of keeping them regularly enough, you should win most of the football games.
The thing is, how hard is it to keep a clean sheet? It's a very hard task because you've got to be balanced in defence and in attack. I mean, if you're starting to go forward more, you're more likely to concede. But then it was like last season, we didn't attack as much, but we're keeping clean sheets. But we weren't attacking as much. We were only winning games 1-0, and sometimes that wasn't even enough. We were drawn 1-1, a lot of 1-1s because we're trying to keep clean sheets.
I mean, I think one thing I will say is that we're a lot more attacking now than I think we ever have been in this league. We've seen a lot of 1-1 draws, and often it's because we weren't really going forward much, or we were, and then we were sitting back. But I think this is the most attacking team I think I've seen from Sunderland in a long time. I think Johnson leaves sitting back to as late as possible. I do think he still likes us pushing on for a good 70 minutes or so, even if we're in the lead.
Right, just very quickly, let me jump on the chat then, people contributing. Then David Jobling says Sunderland went missing for the last 10 minutes. P. Nelestino says, Diaco starts Tuesday. Wigan know nothing about him, just like us. Mr. 90 says, "Gan mental Dino, lad." Tony Lee said, "No excuses, Dino. Pathetic end to the game from the players and manager." Good news, Karen.
That's harsh, that, you know. Look, we got beat.
It's 2 points drop, but it's still a point gained away from home in a place where we know we historically struggle at. Highbury, we always struggle in Fleetwood away.
Right, once again, just quickly, Justin Rico. Morning, lads. Tuning in from Edmonton, Alberta, Canada. How did your game against Newcastle Fans TV go? We will touch on that shortly. Let you know how that did go. But just very quickly, while we have a quick wee, and I pick my nose for 30 seconds, we'll just have a word from this bloke here. SAFC Fan TV would like to thank our sponsors, OneFootball. This is a superb football app that every football fan should have. Keep up to date with all the players' stats and, of course, any injuries that you may have in your squad. You can check out the opposition, the team you're playing that coming week, and find out who their danger men are. To download this app, there is a link in the description below. Download it now. And thanks once again to OneFootball for sponsoring SAFC Fan TV. What's Jack on? Oh, he's disappeared. Right, just very quickly then. And I mentioned this when me and Dino did the live stream. 2 penalties in the game. And I've said to Jack many times, if a referee gives a penalty to one team, you're always, if you get a penalty in a game, you're always could be awarded a penalty against you because they even it up. Jack will disagree, but it happens so many times. Well, hang on a sec. Two penalties. All I'm going to ask you, were they both penalties? Jack, you're the referee. I don't know how much you can say on the matter, but
it's more of a courtesy thing. I think in both instances, what I will say is that both defenders knew they were putting themselves at risk of giving a penalty away. You put your hands up in the box, you put your arms around someone, and you're running the risk of giving a penalty away. So I don't think either team can complain at either of the penalty decisions. That's just my opinion.
Right, fair enough. Dino?
My opinion, it was like the same with Luke O'Nien. Our penalty, Luke O'Nien was getting ragged around by their defender, given a penalty. It happens. And then with Bailey Wright, I mean, people at first said it was a Luke O'Nien handball, but when I look back, his hand was nowhere near it. Bailey Wright basically had I think it was Morton's top halfway up his back. So it just proved that you had your hands on. So yeah, it's a penalty. People might say it's soft, but I mean, if we get one which is soft, because we all know people grab each other in the box, and if the referee sees it, he'll give a pen. So yeah, I would say both are pens. Yes.
There was mention that I mean, when we did the stream, somebody came on the live chat and was saying it was handball by Luke O'Nien. I believe Sky reported it as that initially. We when we watched it, me and Dino, we couldn't see that. It looked like Bailey Wright was pulling his shirt. So I don't know where that's come from. Terry, for you, 2 penalties. Both penalties?
Look, it came from BBC Newcastle. Nick Barnes and Gary Bennett both said it was, I think it was handball by Luke O'Nien. That was Nick Barnes' natural reaction, saying it's a penalty, it's handball, Luke O'Nien. He's given it for a handball. He thinks he's given it for a handball, Luke O'Nien. So I actually thought, I was trying to see where he handled it and I couldn't see it. So I completely missed Bailey Wright tugging at the shirt because I was concentrating on Luke O'Nien to see where he handled the ball. So, but I'll agree with Jack. Referees are always right, so he knows best.
All right, fair enough. Jack, you want to ask someone?
Yeah, I'm just saying something going on in the live chat. I think it's between DJ Earth and Thane, but I could be wrong because I've not been looking at it in particular. But at the minute, we seem to be playing like with a front three almost. Stewart up top leading the line, who I don't think any of us can complain about. McGeady on the left and Gooch on the right. And it seems as if that's just almost undroppable at the minute, regardless of what happens. I think we need a bit of rotation, personally. Again, I don't want to be one of these fans who, after one game's kicking off, because I think me and Dino are like towing the line of, it's only one game, it's one mistake that's cost us. But do you think Gooch and McGeady have really been doing enough this season? Because for me, I think I would be tempted. If the options were there to drop them both, we've got Diaku, we've got Broadhead, we've got other players in and around who probably want game time. I know you're both waving away, Philly or Terry, whoever wants to go first, but I thought I'd just put that forward to you because I would drop them both, mate, if we could, at the very least, drop one.
Go on, Phil. Go on, Phil. I'll let you go first. Go on.
Yeah, well, for me, thanks, Dino.
Very kind.
I know other people have said about, McGeady should have been subbed. He wasn't too clever at second half, but I thought that, again, I don't know if I watch a different game, but I thought McGeady was pretty good first half. Me and Dino sort of discussed it, and he had a lot of the ball. He did, I thought he did a decent job. First half, and it was only sort of into the second half where he waned a bit. So, and the spotlight is on McGeady at the moment because he hasn't been performing to his best ability. And if anybody, I think we agree that Gooch. I think Gooch deserves to be dropped before McGeady at the moment. For me personally, and even more so, the fact that we now have competition for places. Let's put these people under pressure. I've seen people have been on social media and saying, "Oh, Johnson's scared to drop McGeady and all this nonsense." But Terry, you was wondering as well on that.
Well, when I do my lineup that Lee Johnson's going to put out, I know exactly what team he's putting out. He's very predictable. I know what team he's putting out. Opposition know what team he's putting out, and you guarantee on Saturday he'll start McGeady and Gooch again until Diaku and other players get game time in the cup match. I mean, Diaku might come on and he might have a worldie, score a hat-trick, but might not even get picked on Saturday. So, we know what he's putting out. And until Gooch has a really bad game or McGeady has a really off game or one of them gets injured, we're going to continue seeing Gooch and McGeady in the starting lineup.
Right, okay.
But I don't want anybody to get injured, mind, and I don't want any players to play badly. I'm just saying it's very predictable. We know exactly what the team sheet's going to be.
The thing is, though, I suppose he didn't say it for certain, but he in his press conference before the Fleetwood game, I was under the impression that Diaku was going to come on and he was going to get at least some game time. Terry?
So then why didn't he come on? He was warming up for half a day. What's he got to do to come on?
I don't know. I mean, I don't know. Dino, Jack's question he asked there.
I mean, you had this little debate on the stream that McGeady doesn't look as good because we don't rely on him as much anymore. I still think he was good yesterday, but I still don't think he's at his best. But we don't rely on him as much. With Gooch goes through this form where he's really, really good for 1 or 2 games, and then he just goes missing. And this has been the frustration with Gooch for a long, long time. I mean, I don't mind Gooch getting dropped because I feel like there is better players in the team. I feel like Pritchard would probably do a better job out there than Gooch. Obviously, I don't know what this Diaku's got, but I mean, you've got to give him a go. And if he is better than Gooch, you play him there. But I mean, I don't mind Gooch getting dropped, but I feel like McGeady is, with him being the captain, he's not going to get dropped because like everyone knows, people don't drop the captains unless they're playing really, really badly. And McGeady's not playing really, really badly. We just expect a lot more from him with what he's shown the last 3 seasons.
Yeah, sort of agree there. I'll bring you in a sec there, Jack, because somebody said I've lost it now. David Joblin says time to change the 2 wingers. Which is what you're saying there, Jack. Jack, you want to get in?
Yeah, just to kind of finish off on that, really. I've just actually had a look at the squad now. Players who could come in for that. You've got Pritchard, he could probably come in on the wing, if not in the centre, and you move Embleton out wide. You've got Diagu, said in an interview, he likes playing on the right-hand side. He can also play on the left. He can also play up front. You've got Broadhead, who plays, I believe, either as a striker or a left winger. Thought he played really well against Blackpool in the Cup last time round, and he's got a lot of promise being on the bench for Everton in Premier League games, just as recently as this season. And you've got Aidan O'Brien as well. Scored a hat-trick against Blackpool. You know he's always going to put a shift in. He's always going to give you 100%. He might not be the best footballer in the world, the best goal scorer in the world, but you know he's going to contribute positively to the team. I just think it's about time we dropped at least one of them. We've got loads of players chomping at the bit to get in. Personally, for me, I would bring any of them in. You know, I think Broadhead and Diagu were the two for me that I would like to bring in. I just think it's about time. There's been enough poor performances between the two of them. Drop one of them, and for me, it's probably Gooch ahead of McGeady, because at least McGeady's bringing a bit of experience to the side, if nothing else.
Terry, you was one in first. Someone coming to you, do you know?
Yeah, I want to ask Jack a question, because he said that Broadhead's left wing or striker. So when Broadhead came on, was it for Embleton yesterday?
I think he was playing as a second striker with Stewart up front.
So he had two up front, two strikers up front.
More or less, yeah. Well, I think Embleton's
Just off him money.
I think that's how Embleton plays. So Embleton's like a number 10, like just off Stewart.
So if he prefers to be on the left-hand side or striker, why would you play this off him?
I don't know.
I don't know why we didn't bring him on.
What I think because we're under the cosh, because I seen Ross Stewart more in the box. He was in our half, and I think what we were hoping for, that the ball would get launched up and Broadhead's pace would get behind, because there was a couple of times Broadhead nearly got through, because I seen Ross Stewart in the box heading the balls away, and like he wasn't up front as the target man anymore. He dropped deeper, so I think it was a tactic to get Ross Stewart in the box, because he's tall, but he's good with his head to get the ball away. Hopefully we'll get a break and Broadhead uses his pace to get in and have a shot. That's what I believe. But yeah, that's what I believe.
Well, Thane on the chat here says Broadhead and Diagu would be his changes for McGeady and Gooch, but it won't happen. Dino?
Can I just say something? I know Jack said about Broadhead, he was on the bench for Everton. Let's be fair, it means nothing. Donald Love was on the bench for Man United at one stage in his career, and look how crap he was. So
I know,
let's not get ahead of ourselves. Just because you're on the bench, Darren Gibson used to play for Man United first team, and look how he turned out. It's just because you're on the bench doesn't mean you're good. Let's be fair.
Broadhead's a 20, 21-year-old lad or something who came through a Premier League youth system. They were probably looking at maybe integrating him into the first team this season. If they think he's good enough to be on the bench in the Premier League, they've at least rated him somewhat. That he wouldn't be there at the club anymore if they didn't think he had a chance of making it.
Well, Man United rated Donald Love, and he was playing, he was on the bench, and he was only young. And he was only young.
Does that not mean he doesn't deserve a chance? Look at how well he played. I know you might not have seen the game, but against Blackpool, I thought he had a really good game. He had a goal disallowed for offside when I don't actually think he was offside upon the replay. He's touched up excellent. He's got a bit of pace about him. I just think, don't get us wrong, he's got to start on Tuesday. I think him, O'Brien, and Diagu, Pritchard probably as well, will all start on Tuesday, because they haven't had much minutes since they've came in. Thane saying Broadhead's 23 there.
Is O'Brien being frozen out, by the way? Because he's not even on he doesn't even make the bench these days.
Well, I just think with how well Stewart's doing, there's not really much potential for him.
Yeah, but the on the chat there, P. Nalestino says O'Brien surely starts Tuesday after the hat-trick last round. Terry's always been an advocate of saying, in these cup games, you've got to let these players, play. So, yes, Stewart's doing a great job, but you've got to keep, when you have a squad, you have to keep that squad happy. Terry, you want in there?
That's a strange one yesterday. I don't know what was wrong with Aidan O'Brien yesterday. Like you say, he wasn't even on the bench, was he? So why wasn't he not even for me, he's the ideal player to come on in that scenario yesterday. Good at holding the ball up. So for me, I don't even know. The system we play now with the likes of Dan Neil Embleton suits O'Brien better. So he's got to start Tuesday. Alves has got to start Tuesday. Broadhead's got to start Tuesday. Diagu's got to start Tuesday. Huggins has got to start. Pritchard's got to start. Rest all the key players for the league for the match against Bolton.
Something that I think, would you even take down a lot of the players, the likes of the players who were first names on the team sheet, Ross Stewart, Callum Doyle, and players. I don't need Winchester. I don't even know if I'd take them down. I think I would leave them up here, say rest up, get a good day's training in, get prepared for Saturday, and you bring the bench players, some of the 23s down, and just play them against Wigan in the cup and let them have some minutes, because I think a lot of them need the minutes and need an opportunity to put themselves forward and get in the
Right, okay. Just very quickly, we got 111 people on the live stream and only 59 likes. We'd like to try and hit 100 likes if we can on a Sunday. It's just a case of whacking that thumbs up. It'll take you a second to do it. It doesn't cost anything either. If you're watching on a mobile device and you have the live chat on, just close the live chat. You'll see the thumbs up. Just smash that and let's get that going and get that up to 100. That will help the channel out. Also, if you're watching and you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. It's free. And once again, will help the channel. Terry?
Look, barring a miracle, we're not going to win the cup. Simple as. We got Man City, Liverpool. No, listen, shush you. We're not going to win the cup, right? So this is a perfect opportunity to give all the fringe players 90 minutes on the pitch, see what they can prove to Lee Johnson to earn some sort of opportunity to start in a league match. You know, there's no point playing first teamers on Tuesday. They can get injured. For me, I wouldn't even put them on the bench like Jack says. Bring other fringe players in. We want to win cup matches, yes. Let the youth do it. Let the young players who are on the bench, who haven't even made the bench, let them come in. Let them show what they can do. Let them win the cup match. Rest all the key players for the league. As we play in Bolton, then we're playing on Tuesday straight afterwards. We can't afford any injuries.
And I think now that we drew yesterday, that game against Bolton just becomes a heck of a lot bigger. You know, you get a win. And if we win next Saturday, I think we're looking back at the draw against Fleetwood as an all right result, really, all things considered.
Dino, you want in there?
I was going to say, obviously there's some good news back with that Jamali. He's just come back from injury. They reckon he's training now. I mean, would you like to see him get chucked in there for maybe a half?
I think if he's ready.
Can I just say, who's Jamali?
Jamali.
Amalji, I thought it was.
I didn't even know Jamali or whatever he called, but I'm glad he's back. I
know who he means.
Yes. I do. I mean, if he comes in, that's some places for centre back, isn't it? I mean, you've got Alves, Flanagan. Flanagan's been playing really, really well. Bailey Wright on his day is a good defender, but like you see, he's lacking match fitness. Jamali, he looked good when he first started, but obviously the injury. You've still got what's his name, Jordan Willis on the books as well.
Yeah, I don't think there's much of him this season. Like.
Jordan Willis hasn't even given a number. Sorry, Terry.
Jamajli, whenever apparently Lee Johnson says he still winces when he sees Jamajli going in for a challenge or a tackle when he's training because the injury was that bad. He's been out for a full calendar year now, just about a full calendar year. So for me, he's a player that I would treat with kid gloves at this moment in time because he could be a big player in the future. So we don't want to have him sort of go backwards a little bit. But when he's ready to come on, definitely get him on the subs bench at some point, even in one of the other cups, the Papa John's Trophy Cup, just to get him embedded in a little bit. But yeah, definitely, I mean, he could be a big player in the future.
Well, he's playing with the under-23s. I'm sure he says he's training with the under-23s, so I'm guessing he's playing like practice matches. Like they'll be playing practice matches with the under-23s. So I know it's not first team football, but it's a good run because, like you say, young kids, like you say, they're all athletes these days, so they're all running the quick and all that. So hopefully we'll see him back in the team quick because I'd like to. I want to see him play. I want to see him get back because I think, like you say, could be a big part player.
I wouldn't even play Dan Neil. Tuesday.
Well, I mean, that's something I was thinking of. You know, are there any first teams that you actually have to bring down? At left back, is Hume fit enough to play? I don't know. Hume might not be fit enough to play, so you might have to bring Cirkin down. And in midfield, I think if you want to play Corey Evans, you're going to want to stick someone next to him. 09 needs a rest with the situation with his shoulder. Who plays next to him? Winchester, I think them two are quite similar midfielders, so you probably have to play Neil. So I think you are going to have to take a few players down. But I think aside from Neil and Cirkin, I think we can leave all the other proper first teamers who've been playing week in, week out recently at home, I think.
Right, just very quickly, Tony Lee expecting 35,000 attendance for the Bolton game. Really, I think that might be a bit optimistic, but I know we'll be there. Will Allen says Jumanji. And a bit further down, Tony Lee again says, what are you talking about, Willis? Which Jack and maybe even Dino won't even get. I mean, Dino doesn't even know who Christopher Biggins is.
Well, someone tweeted us, right, and said, this is Christopher Biggins, and put a picture on. Yeah, mate, I still don't know who it is.
Oh,
just because he shows a picture means nothing. Like, right, okay. It's like someone saying, oh, do you know who Philly is? And I'm like, no, and the shows a picture like, nah, I still don't know who he is, mate.
Right.
But so I do know you, but I'm just saying, for example.
Yeah, right. Right, okay, look. it wasn't a loss. It was away from home. We've drawn. It's just a blip. It's everybody overreacting about this. It just felt so bad because it was the 97th minute.
Yeah.
We're not going to win every game this season. We're second on goal difference in the league. You know, are people overreacting?
Phil, you know me. I'm Mr. Negative, the Doominator. I'm not even negative. So, like, if I'm not negative, it just shows that the team's still doing good. At the minute, Terry's the new Doominator. Terry's the biggest Doominator going at the minute.
Well, the joy is, I've always said I think deep down Terry's a Doominator at heart.
Oh,
look, I was just disappointed. I was just disappointed yesterday. You know, I've been a Sunderland fan all my life, 50 years, and like I'm sick of being in this league. I'll be probably dead by the time we get back to the Premier League. So you know, in the day, so it's depressing to me. But never mind, that's another issue. But still, I just want us to do well. You so much. I want to win matches and get promoted. It's not all doom and gloom. No, the team's old enough, young enough to learn and grow, and we can get better. But we've dropped 4 points away from home already in the first 7 games. We need to improve that.
I think it's just because we all care so much. You know, I was absolutely fuming at the end of the game yesterday, and it's just because you care so much about the result. And Terry, I think you're the exact same.
Cheers.
Right. Well, I'm a little bit sad, really. Because
you too, Philly, and you too. Dave.
Well, if Terry's not going to see us back in the Premier League, then I'm certainly not, because you know, I'm old Father Time here. Right. Let's go on, Terry.
People are saying I say drop the whole 11. But I mean, we can almost replace most of the 11, and we've got other players in the under 23. You know, everyone's saying, who cares about the cup? Then play some more of the youngsters.
Right. Stephen Hensel says Terry and Jack are true Sunderland fans. Me and Dino.
That's a bit harsh, like.
Cheers,
bit harsh, like. It was like when someone says, "Don't tell me how to support my club because you've got a Geordie accent." Like that. Bit harsh, like.
Geordie accent, you know, you're not a true man.
Yeah, absolutely ridiculous. Just very quickly, if we get 17 people to just hit that thumbs up, then we will hit our 100 target. So if you just smash the thumbs up quick as you can, that would really help. Just very quickly, moving on to Wigan on Tuesday. Jack, you're going down, and you're me and Kazza are going down.
Yeah, Tuesday.
Do you think Wigan are going to go all out and put a strong? I know with chances are we're going to make those changes. Think we're going to go out and put a strong team out and get that sort of psychological win over us with them being sort of top 2, Jack?
I really wouldn't be surprised if Wigan play a really strong 11 because of how close we are on the table. It's first, second, with Charlie White, Jordan Jones, Max Power all playing for them. And I think how much of a psychological advantage it would give for the rest of the season if we are going to be the 2 teams up there. I wouldn't be surprised if they play a really strong team and hope to get one over on us after we beat them the first game of the season.
Right, fair enough. What do you reckon, Dino?
Nah, I mean, like Terry says, we're not going to win the cup. I mean, I know it's a game against a team who's your rivals in this league, but the cup doesn't matter. I'd rather them beat us in the cup than we beat them in the league. That's how I see it. I mean, it was like the Charlton game. We beat them first game of the season with a last-minute winner, then beat us in the playoff final with a last-minute winner. I'd rather us win them in the league than the cup, so I don't mind if they put the kids out.
Right, fair enough. Terry?
It has no bearing on the league at all for me. I hope we can play the full 11 first teamers. I hope they play the full 11 first teamers, get them all absolutely shattered for the weekend.
Yeah, but do you not think it does give I know it's a cup game, it's nothing to do with
really, because you got people who don't start are going to be starting on Tuesday. So every man and his dog who's not, completely not a thick, will know it's not our first team. Simple as. So you're playing against the B team.
I wouldn't rise to it, mate. I think I would stand by our guns and play like a second string team to give minutes to the lads who haven't really had an opportunity this season.
Look, we know
if they want to play a full strength team, let them, but we'll just feel the weaker one.
We know Lee Johnson's going to start 1 or 2 players. He'll have 1 or 2 on the bench. If we take it sort of meet halfway, you don't take Ross Stewart down at all. He stays at home. Simple as. Ross Stewart stays at home, gets his feet up and rests. He's a key player. You don't take maybe Embleton down or Neil, you rest one of those two if you're going to play some of them completely. You don't take Winchester down. Stick him in, a cafe somewhere and let him relax and watch the match on TV or whatever. You don't play any of those ones. You keep those ones well away from the first side because for me, they're instrumental in the side. Doyle, young lad, he could do with not being in the side. We may as well play Bailey Wright because you won't be playing on Saturday. You play Bailey Wright and you play maybe Alves. There's your centre-backs. Then you probably play Sirkin and then Huggins on the right-hand side. So there you've rested 3 of the back 4 straight away. We know he's going to play some of them,
it's a lot.
But you rest most of them.
When you put it like that, it is a lot easier of a job. You then look at Evans in the holding midfield. You've then got to put one person next to him. Maybe it's Dan Neil. Maybe it's Winchester, someone like that. Going forward, you can change everything. Diaku, Broadhead, Pritchard, and O'Brien. There you go.
Exactly.
There's a different front four.
Keeper, put Burge in goal. I don't even know what's going to happen with Patterson, whether Patterson's going to get loaned out. I don't know what's going on there, but you play Patterson. For me, I'll play Patterson in goal. But obviously, I think you might play Burge because Burge is on the team sheet last couple of games.
Can I say something? Is it obviously you are going down, right? I've never really been to a cup game, like going down a cup game. Is it not a disappointing fact that you're going down for a cup game, knowing that we're not playing with best teams, so there's a good chance we might get beat if them do? Is it not like a bit?
Dino, I'll counter that by saying you wouldn't be saying that if you'd been at Blackpool, because Blackpool was just absolutely tremendous. So, and that team played absolutely superb. It's exciting.
I quite like getting to see the lads anyway, mate.
Yeah, you say we might get to see Diaku. Terry, quickly, because
he's a strange one. What happens if Aidan O'Brien's not even in the starting 11?
Might be injured, maybe.
Shouldn't we would know, would we? We would know if he's injured. Surely somebody would say something.
Well, that would
not really.
That would be a strange one. Just very quickly, I want a prediction for Tuesday off you, Jack.
2-1 Sunderland win. That's been optimistic one.
Terry?
4-3 Sunderland win.
Take that, like.
Dino?
Does it go to pens if it's a draw?
Yes.
1-1 Sunderland Pens.
1-1 Pens. I'm going for 2-3. I think it'll be a high-scoring game, but I can't back against the lads. Right, we're almost out of time, so I do quickly want to talk about today. We did, SAFC Fan TV did play a game against Newcastle Fans TV. A couple of things I want to say. An absolutely fantastic bunch of lads up at Newcastle Fans TV. I think we'll all agree. Great set of lads. We played it at the Beacon of Light. Was all put in place for us by Liz down there. So a massive thank you to her. And we did it in conjunction with the Beer a Game Changer campaign. It's a campaign to raise awareness about men's mental health. We did a little workshop before we actually played, and it's superb, actually. We will mention it more on this channel about, if you've got a pal and they're struggling and you say, are you okay? And they say, yeah, I'm okay. Don't just walk away and say, well, they said they're all right. Ask them again, at least twice, maybe even 3 times, because, we've learned things today, you don't realize how important, things like this are. So it's a fantastic campaign. We are going to cover it more on our channel as well. The game itself, Terry, do you want to tell them what the score was?
4-3 to Newcastle. Unfortunately, we're 1-0 down at half time.
Whoa.
3-2, 3-2. Got 4-3 on my brain.
Right.
We were 1-0 down at half time. We didn't play great this first half. Second half, we played better. Fantastic brace from Cass to put us 2-1 up. Then, I don't know what happened. They picked their game up. We switched off for some reason. I don't know why.
We sat back because we're defending.
No, I never sat back. I always chased every single goddamn ball. You sat back, Dino. You sat back.
I was on the bench.
You were knackered. Don't have bacon sardines for your breakfast before you play football.
Do you know what it was, lads? It was a fitness thing.
All right, listen, just very quickly. Listen, Jack's got to shoot off. Jack, do you want to get yourself away, mate? And we'll just we'll wrap this up.
Thanks for early, and thanks for watching, everyone.
Oh, there you go.
Seriously, it was a good game of football. I really, really enjoyed it. We need to do more We need some practice before it starts because we didn't have much practice this time round. We'll only get better. We'll only get better.
It was fantastic. It was a good game. It was evenly matched. Almost all the first half was 0-0. They went one up right on half time. Close game. Bearing in mind that me and Terry in our 50s, we've not really trained for it. I don't think we've let you down. We did our best, and it was quite a good game. I've desperately tried to get a highlights package edited for you to put on straight after this, but I've only had a few hours on it. We're only at half time, so hopefully early part of this coming week we'll put the highlights on and you can see how we did. Unfortunately, we did lose 3-2, but that's how it goes. But once again, like I said, great set of lads up at Newcastle Fans TV, and it was a good game, and we will play them again, won't we, fellas?
Definitely, 100%.
I think if we have a little bit of practice and just get with fitness ready, I think we'll be able to take them. I do. I just think, like you say, the fitness was a big factor. And all their lads were like in the 20s, 30s. I mean, obviously, I know Terry's really fit for his age. Phil, obviously, you've had injury problems.
Really? No, shut up, man. Really
you've
bad for me.
You've had injury problems. I'm very overweight and very unfit. I mean, Michael Bauer's done really well. I mean, I thought Michael Bauer was really good. You had CONRAD, who's obviously just had a baby, and he was like me. He was really unfit. Adams, I think there's still a lot more to come from Adam. I feel like he went in his shell a little bit again, but he's really a good player and banked 2 goals. So I think if we just got a bit more fitness and a bit more playing time, I think we would smash them. I really do.
The keeper played well today. The keeper played well, and Jack could do with a bit more fitness. For young lad, he did really well, but again, he's maybe scored at the same gym as you.
Thanks to Andy for turning up to be the keeper as well. He was really good. There was actually one stage I had to say to him, "Stop shouting." I says, "I know where the player is, but I can't get there because I'm not capable because I'm so unfit." I says, "Don't be shouting." I says, "Just enjoy the experience. Stop shouting at us."
But like we say, great set of lads up at Newcastle Fans TV, and a massive thank you to all the team.
Philly, are we doing a stream on Tuesday for the match, or is it not on telly?
It's not on telly. You can't.
I am. I'm doing a stream, even though I didn't want to after yesterday, but I'm doing one.
From his.
Are you doing the radio thingy? What you do?
Yeah, he's going to watch along. Is what he's going to do. There you go.
Just a screen on that and see.
Listen, just before we go, we got 93 likes. If 7 people just hit that thumbs up, you'll get us to the 100 mark, and that would be very much appreciated. So just smash the thumbs up before you go, if you don't mind. Listen, thanks for joining us. Terry, do you want to say bye to everybody?
Bye, everybody.
Tino, say bye.
Goodbye.
We will be back. We'll have the highlights package for you in the week. We'll be back on Thursday as well. Please don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. And once again, thanks very much for watching. We'll see you again soon. Bye-bye. SAFC have teamed up with our sponsors, OneFootball. This is a superb football app and the only app any football fan will need. You can keep bang up to date with all the latest news coming out of your club. Transfer news when the transfer windows are open, see where you stand in the league. All the league tables are on there. Any information you need regarding football is in the app. You can download it for free via the link in the description. Do it now. And once again, thanks to OneFootball for sponsoring SAFC Fan TV.